Our next speaker has 25 years of professional experience in the music and the new media industries. He is the former manager of multi-platinum alternative rock band Stone Temple Pilots, and he is now bringing a revolution to the music industry through Vezt. Will you please make a massive round of applause for Steve Stewart?
I know, it's only dark stories about STP. Thank you so much. That's a really great intro, by the way. I never get that. So. You guys are all blockchain folks, I take it, right? Yeah. All right, so they asked me to do a keynote at the last minute. I have no notes, I have no slides. You're going to look at my name on a beach somewhere. I figured I'd talk about how blockchain could possibly bring us better music. I know that sounds like a very generalized term. My background is, as was mentioned, I managed a band called Stone Temple Pilots from 1990 through 2000. I grew up with those guys. I played music myself since I was in 3rd grade. I played the Roxy, the Whiskey, pretty much every club in Los Angeles and Orange County. I toured as a drum tech for General Public, which was a spin-off of English Beat. So I've had a lot of experience both on the stage side, on the roadie side, and then on the management side. I had another 20 clients along with Stone Temple Pilots between 1990 and 2000, signed to major labels, major publishing companies. So I've seen the pain points from an artist's perspective. I've always been on the artist's side. I understand what they're looking for. I understand kind of where the dark corners are in this business. It may be foreign to many of you. I think people assume that artists that are successful, that have record deals, have money. They've made it, right? They're on Capitol Records, they're millionaires, billionaires. Not always the case. And what you will find out if you look under the hood a little bit is that there are many people that contribute to music. It's not just the person you see on stage. There's a writer, there might be a co-writer, there might be someone that writes a chorus, someone that writes the lyrics, bass player, producer, engineer. A lot of people are involved in the team that put the song together. And when I sat down with my partner, Robert Menendez, we started talking about some of the problems in the music business, and we figured out that it wasn't so much the distribution side. People could get songs, right? If you want a song, you go to Spotify or iTunes or Pandora, you can hear music pretty much anywhere, anytime. The problem is on the front side, right? It's with funding. How does that artist actually get paid? How do they make money for doing what they do best, which is write music? It's one of the few industries where very highly talented craftspeople can't actually make a living for themselves. Right? So it's very difficult unless you are part of a label system or a publishing system to actually make money doing what you do. And you'll see guys playing in bars, you'll see people playing on street corners. To make a real living other than tending bar, driving Uber, doing 10 other jobs, you really can't focus on what you do best. There's no way to monetize that directly. You've had to have, before our platform, you've had to go to an A&R guy who convinced someone that you had a level of fan base that would make them money. Because all record labels are really concerned about at the end of the day is money, and rightfully so. They're for-profit companies. What we came up with was, let's take the resources that artists have, which is songs, IP, and let's put them together with what they need, which is financial resources. Right? And where can they get those resources if it's not from some Fortune 500 company? It might be from their fans. Right? So if an artist has even a small fan base of, say, 1,000 people that are very, very much behind them, and they hit them with an opportunity to buy into their work, and not just I'm selling a t-shirt or concert ticket or a bottle of vodka, I'm actually selling some of the underlying IP, the ownership stake in that music itself, something that's very material. What if I made that proposition to my big fans and asked them to contribute, not just as a donation, not as a Patreon or a pledge music, but as an owner, a partner in the songs that I'm creating. And that was what Vezt became. So our platform allows people to come up and say, I want to buy into my favorite song along with the artist. And what we're doing is turning fans into advocates, because when they share this music, what do you think they're going to share? The song that they don't have anybody behind, or the song that they put 10 or 20 or 100 or $2,000 behind? Right? So their portfolio, the songs that they've invested in, becomes their playlist. They're able to actually take those songs, share them with their friends and family, monetize them in a way that's meaningful to the artist, and let the artist actually make money from their work. So getting back to the topic, how does blockchain make better music? So our underlying technology is based on blockchain. We understand there's a real usage for it in the music business. When fintech's an industry where it makes sense, anything where there's rights management, as I said before, songs are created by a multiple number of people, usually 10 or 12 people now in a pop song. So how does those rights translate internationally? How are those monies collected that would allow an artist to actually see that income stream at some point in line? We use what's called PROs, Performing Rights Organizations, which in this country are ASCAP, BMI, CSAC, and GMR. There's 4 of them now. In most countries there's only one. In many developing countries there are none. Believe it or not, there's no way to collect monies in countries like Nigeria. There is no collection society. So if you're an artist in Africa, in that country, there's no way to actually make money from your music, which is crazy. What we're doing is adopting a system that allows those countries to send their monies into ASCAP or BMI. We're letting artists take one piece of that, whether it's 1% to 100% of these songs. So it's not their entire catalog, it's not even an album, it's not even a full song. It could be a fraction of a song, and sell that, make it available through our platform to the public. So it allows them to actually engage with an audience, their fans, and the public, in raising money to support themselves. It sounds pretty simple, but this has never been done before. Record labels have done this in a very artificial way. They buy the catalog. They'll say, I want your songs for 7 years. You're going to make 3 or 4 records for me. I'm going to take 90% of the income. I'm also going to take half of your merchandising, half of your touring, and a quarter of your publishing. So there's what's called 360 deals now in the music business, where record labels monetize everything that comes in and give back very little. And very few artists make it out of that system. You'll see the superstars that come out. It's probably 1 out of 1,000 artists that actually make money and can actually be successful with that system in place. So what we want to do is allow those artists to monetize from 1,000 fans to 10,000 fans to 10 million fans. Even if you're an established artist, some of those artists are out of their record deals, right? They can't tour anymore. Somebody in the band's died. They don't want to tour. They can't get a record deal. They can't get a publishing deal. How is someone that's sitting on 8 or 10 years of work, maybe they've got 8 or 10 records, how can they monetize that to the point where they're actually making real money? We can allow them to put, again, a fraction of their song on the platform, sell it to their big fan base. A lot of these artists have millions and millions of fans they've accrued over the decades that they've been performing and touring, and let those fans become owners with them. Right? And what we're trying to do is engender a partnership between the fan and the artist that isn't there now. People think that, oh, I put out a record, I toured in front of millions of people, I know those folks. It's not true. The record label doesn't give you the data. They won't tell you who bought your record. Spotify won't let you touch who streamed your song. iTunes doesn't let you touch who downloaded your music. Why is that, right? YouTube, you guys know YouTube. If you're a YouTube content creator, you can't actually get a list of the emails of the people that subscribe to your channel. You can push out to them, but they can't let you touch them immediately. We will put those people in touch because we think those are the natural customers of the artist, and the artist might want to push another song, they might want to push a tour, they might want to sell tickets or merchandise. Why shouldn't they be in touch with their customers directly? So one thing our platform will do is allow that connection. We want the fans and artists to connect. Now the question I had probably 3 panels ago was, do you think blockchain will lead to better music? I can tell you, if you're focused on one job and you do that job well, you'll get quality results, right? If you're a computer programmer and you have 8 hours a day to focus on writing software and coding, you'll probably do better than the guy that's distracted, has 4 kids, has to run around between three different jobs, and can't focus on his craft. Most musicians in this town and probably around the world are doing other jobs to support themselves, right? They're driving a cab, they're Ubering, they're bartending, they're waitering. Whatever they're doing, they're not focused on their primary craft, which is writing music. So if they were able to monetize that craft in a primary way, they could make a really good living doing it. Don't you think there'd be more quality in music? I think there would be, right? Do you think the quality of their work would go up? If they can focus on writing music 8 hours a day, instead of driving an Uber 8 hours a day or tending bar 8 hours a day, I would think the quality of that music is going to go up. So what we're trying to do with Vezt is engender an artist and ecosystem that allows them to do great work, be monetized in a meaningful way from it, from a fan base that is a natural fan base for them, their actual audience. This isn't a label pushing it out or ramming it down someone's throat as a promotional tool. This is an artist connecting with their fan base in a very natural way and actually sharing ownership with those fans. It's not, again, a donation. It's not somebody asking for us to give us some money to help us because we're helpless, starving artists. It's saying, I'm willing to give you a percentage of ownership in my work if you will join me as a partner. We think that's a much more meaningful way to do it.